Welcome back to Random Generation Gaming. We're gonna play something, and today we're playing Star Trek the game. Star Trek is a very popular TV franchise and movie franchise. This is Star Trek the game. It's based off the new Star Trek universe, the one where Chris Pine plays Captain Kirk. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that Spock went back in time from the original Star Trek cast and created a different timeline when he saw himself in the past. The guy who played Spock in the movie is the same guy who played Siler on the show Heroes. So this is a different Star Trek universe, but it's based on the original Star Trek. Everything happened in this movie was the past of the original Star Trek, with subtle differences. So this is part of my 15 games with movies franchises attached game. It's also part of my games from TV show series. So I have also other Star Trek videos. I have some Star Trek Online videos. So check out all of my movie and TV show games playlists. Check out my 15 games with movie franchises attached. I've brung you things like Starship Troopers, Predator, Aliens vs. Predator, Mad Max, Lord of the Rings, Dune, Tron, different games that have movie franchises attached, and now we're gonna play Star Trek. Okay, let's jump right into it. So this is a co-op game. You can play online. One person can play as Kirk, one person can play as Spock. If you play solo like I'm doing, you have to pick a character. It doesn't let you switch between them, which I wish it did. All of the voice actors and their likenesses from the movies are in the game. Those newer Star Trek movies were pretty good. Okay, so let's hop into it. We're starting a new game. I've only loaded it up just to change some of the settings, lower some of the graphics, lower the music, cut up the brightness for people who are watching on their phone. So I haven't seen anything in this game yet. Now you can choose your character. If you choose Spock, it'll say Spock is tactical, precise, and logical like me. Or you could play as Kirk. I would rather play as Spock, but for this game I'm going to play as Kirk, who is brash, bold, and clever, because I want to see what the computer AI does as Spock. Some of the other actors in this game and in the movies is the guy who played Jim McCoy. He also played, I think, Vlago on Chronicles of Riddick. I think his name was Vlago. He played in the movie Red with Bruce Willis. Chris Pine plays Captain Kirk. He's a big star. Guy who played Spock played Siler in Heroes. The guy who played Chekhov, he unfortunately died in real life, but he was in the fourth Terminator movie. He played not John Connor, but a young Kyle, I think Kyle Reed. He's been in some other movies like Charlie Bartlett, you know, Psychiatrist in the Kid Bathroom, things like that. The Asian guy was is the guy from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. So there's some big names here. Simon Pegg from Mission Impossible and Run, Fat Boy Run, and other movies. He's also plays Scotty in the movie and in this franchise. But enough about that. Let's see what the game is all about. So, as I said, anybody can join at any time. If you're playing online, they'll pick up your AI character. I heard the AI isn't that good in this game, so it's better to play with another person. Private, you invite who you want, but we're going to be playing offline. Playing solo by ourselves. Now, Star Trek is a gigantic universe that's been around since the 60s.
Their numbers are overwhelming. Surrender may be our only option.
No! Don't give him an inch.
Okay, I'm playing with the controls are a little wonky. Maybe I'll just mouse it. Mouse actually.
Captain, grenades!
if anybody remembers the old Star Trek show from the 60s, it's a classic episode where Spock and Kirk were forced to fight each other. I believe they redid that maybe in the movies, but in this game they're redoing it. They're forced to fight each other. And as you play this game, you find out what happened, what got them to this point. So the game starts off 8 hours earlier. It's just showing you kind of the middle of the game first, or maybe the ending of the game first. I don't know. I've never played it. And here we are 8 hours earlier. Spock's quarters, USS Enterprise.
It is your move, Captain.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Spock.
It's good that all the likenesses
Damn
from
it.
the movies.
Your choice was valid, Captain.
There were
But
3 of
highly
these
predictable.
newer Star Trek movies,
Predictable?
by the way.
Since when have I ever been predictable?
That is precisely why the move was predictable, Captain.
So it's a reimagining of the Star Trek
We have
universe.
received an emergency signal from a nearby space station. Please report to the bridge at once.
Shall we finish the game later, or do you concede defeat?
You should know me better than that by now, Spock. I never concede.
Cheater. So yeah, there were 3 of these movies with this cast and crew. The reimagining of Star Trek. One even talks about Khan from the second Star Trek motion picture movie from the old franchise, The Wrath of Khan. One of the newer movies even deals with Khan. So there's 3 of these Star Trek movies. The original series had a few movies, and Star Trek The Next Generation series had a few movies. Then there are a whole bunch of Star Trek television shows. You got Star Trek, the original show, Star Trek the animated series based off the original show, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Star Trek The Next Generation. Then you got Enterprise, which is about the first Star Trek ship. It was one of the newer shows. It's about the first Enterprise and the first crew to go into space. And then you got the newest show, Star Trek Discovery, which is a pretty good show. So all the Star Trek shows and movies are pretty good, and they all have their own unique feel. I like Star Trek and Star Wars, but most people like one or the other, and there's this big beef that's been going on between Star Trek and Star Wars. But both franchises are pretty different. Star Trek is about exploring and government and federation, and Star Wars, their galaxy is, so old that they, going to another planet is like hopping on a bus, where Star Trek is more based in reality, except Star Trek you can beam and teleport. You can't do that in Star Wars, because Star Wars has space ninjas called Jedis. So I like both franchises. I'm not one of those people who prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. Okay, hold LB to equip your tricorder. You currently connected. Reach the bridge. Oh wow, hold Y to move Spock. That's cool. Let's move him. See how that works.
This way.
But I did hear the AI is bad, so let's see if he actually listens.
Captain,
Chief.
He
I
listens.
just got the results of those scans. Good work, Ensign.
So they have the classic green alien in here, because everybody knows that Captain Kirk would sleep with green aliens, and they brought that back in the movie too. He slept with a green alien. In the original Star Trek series, that was back in the day where all you had to do was paint an actress green, and it would be a big deal.
No time to waste.
It really looked like an alien. Another good game in the Star Trek universe is Star Trek Online. It's an MMORPG, free on the PS4, free on PC. You can have more than one ship, fleets of ships. You can have 5 people in your bridge crew, or team up with other players up to 5 people and have an away team down on the planet. So it has ground combat and space combat, and you can upgrade your ships and your crew and yourself. So that's a pretty good game. I've got videos on that. Check out my Star Trek Online videos. So the classic uniforms are back. The gold rings around the sleeves weren't in the original Star Trek. That's a Mandela effect. It just showed up. Got your weird looking aliens, can't get past them. This is what the Enterprise looks like so far. Let's get to the bridge, see what it looks like. Meet all the crew.
What's going on down there?
The radiation from those binary stars is making communications difficult, but the station appears to be in some sort of distress.
Check off readings.
They're operating on emergency power and are struggling to maintain altitude.
Cause?
Unknown, sir.
Captain, they have issued a request for immediate evacuation.
Then let's help them out. Mr. Scott, prepare transporters.
I wouldn't recommend it, sir. Those stars are giving off too much
There's
interference.
Simon
Unless we
Pegg.
achieve manual lock, we might fry those little guys.
And we'll get them out the old-fashioned way. Prepare my shuttle, meet me in the bay.
Aye, aye, sir.
Captain, in spite of your seemingly endless desire to stretch your legs, I must remind you that you are still a Starfleet captain. This is clearly a job that Mr. Scott and a few ensigns could handle.
But then I'd miss all the fun.
Sir, the more prudent choice would be to stay on the Enterprise and wait for a response to our hails.
Oh, you're right. Lieutenant Uhura, any response to our hails?
None, sir.
No, looks like I'm going.
So Zoe Saldana plays Lieutenant Uhuru from the original Star Trek. Zoe Saldana's famous from the Columbiana movie and other movies and TV shows. And Spock just ran off and he wasn't supposed to, so they're right, the AI is bad in this game. Waiting.
Captain, I must insist.
You insist? You know what, Mr. Spock? A change of scenery might do you some good.
Captain?
You come with me.
I am afraid not, sir.
We are in the
Your shuttle's ready,
Shuttle
Captain.
bay.
But do you think it's wise to go yourself? I'm sure me and some recruits could handle this.
Don't worry, Scotty. We'll be fine.
same thing
Always
Spock
makes me
did.
nervous when he says that.
Let's just get a look at the shuttle bay. I was interested in this game not only because it's directly from the movie and it goes along with my movie, TV show playlist and my 15 movie games, but this is a Star Trek co-op cover-based shooter. I've never seen that in a Star Trek game, so I was interested in it.
Mr.
Talk to
Scott.
Scotty.
Is there no way to transport survivors off that vessel?
I like to think that nothing is impossible, Commander. But with that much interference out there, I wouldn't recommend it. Stupid place to park a space station, if you ask me.
Almost getting into something.
You got your
Hey,
red
which
shirts
one of you
here.
left this phase generator
Your
running?
low-level
Someone could get
grunts
killed.
in the original Star Trek would always go down with one of the main cast and end up dead. Spock's second in command commander. He has a blue shirt. Scotty has a red shirt. I got the orange one. Captain Kirk. Let's get on the shuttle.
Spock, get suited up.
I was really impressed with the reimagining of Star Trek. Those movies directed by J.J. Abrams were pretty good. Action-packed, nice story, nice effects. Come on, Spock, here's Spocky, Spocky. Okay, so this, I'm off the shuttle. This way to the shuttle.
Enterprise shuttle, confirming approach at 5x6. Maintain minimal safe distance.
Affirmative, Enterprise. I'm picking up high levels of radiation from two binary stars.
The whole space station would have been fried by those two stars by now. What the hell are they doing out there?
Captain, the station appears to be outfitted with solar collectors, but they are unlike any I have ever encountered.
Mr. Sulu, do you have any clue what an experimental power station would be doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
Negative, Captain. Whatever they're doing, Starfleet doesn't have any record of it. Preparing for final approach.
No one ever liked the fact that the captain had to go himself in the old Star Trek show. So when they made Star Trek The Next
The end of running,
Generation,
Mr. Sulu. I don't think we plan on staying on that thing for too long.
Aye, Captain.
the captain didn't go all the time. He sent number one, which is his XO, or executive officer, his second in command. Since this is a reimagining of the original Star Trek, of course the captain has to. In other Star Trek shows, they didn't have the captain always by themselves. The captain was either with a team or if you think about it logically, the captain would not be the one going to take care all the time. The captain would stay on the ship.
Radiation scan
Side truck.
Please step forward for decontamination.
Wow. It's got the French word for second to the French spelling.
Officer, where is the captain of this station?
This way. You must hurry.
I have to test
Damn it.
so with this laptop.
Is this the fun you were afraid you were going to miss,
But
Captain?
imagine what this game would
Right.
look like if you grab
We need to get everyone out of here right away.
Captain, we must find an alternate route.
Very perceptive, Mr. Spock.
Press A, jump. Seems like a alternate route to me. You got to move toward crawling, jumping. You don't got to be shooting at it, except at the very beginning.
Captain, we're picking up some strange readings. There appears to be some sort of anomaly.
We kind of have our hands full. Anything we need to worry about right now?
The readings are off the
wow.
charts, sir, but I don't think so.
We'll just keep an eye on it, Mr. Chekhov.
Aye, aye, sir.
Don't follow me, Spock. We don't have time. Let's test this whole Spock thing. Not even about the trip.
Let's go.
They say the AI is bad, but he's listening so far. Yeah, they say your AI partner doesn't do what he's supposed to a lot. You get stuck not being able to do it. Okay, he's awake. I'll put him in a way.
Over here.
Yeah, he seems to listen.
He's stuck in there. Let's get him out of there.
I believe the door can be hacked from this side.
Please, you must be quick.
Okay, so you can command your partner to unlock the door, or you can do it. Hold LB tricorder, and hold X to unlock it. Let's try having our partner unlock it. Down Y. Okay, don't let me.
Whenever you're ready, Spock.
Hold Y, Spock unlock. Yeah, it worked. I guess they must have fixed the AI.
I am in your debt.
Formalities are unnecessary. Please proceed to the shuttle bay for immediate evacuation.
I can hack it right now, Spock.
Captain, I must mention that many of these crew members appear to be Vulcan.
Your point.
With fewer than 10,000 Vulcans remaining, I question the logic of placing them on any type of experimental power station.
I question putting anybody on this thing, Mr. Spock, Vulcan or not.
Agreed, sir.
20 seconds and I have no idea what they want me to do. Okay, I get it, I think. What happens now? Okay, it just blew up. I'd like to try that again.
We can't unlock this door from here.
try this again. See, I can always have Spock hack it, but I want to see how to do it. Okay, match signals. This is kind of weird. No. This is weird. I don't understand what they want you to do. That hurting me? That's hurting me. I got it. Okay. Oh, that's gonna kill me. And it starts off. Okay, I get it now. Okay, so close. I get it now. I did it. So they have XP in this, so what is research data? Okay, so you can unlock the Spock and Kirk. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I'll take this one. And I'll take it for Spock too. Spock has his own thing and I got 0 XP left. Okay, I understand. Got a little XP we used. Got the door. Get some shimmering in there. got your climbing. He's up.
Hey, Spock, you look like you need a hand.
Sir, we need to disable that laser arm.
Wonder where I kill Spock.
Clock's ticking, Commander.
Captain, the anomaly and the failure of this station are most assuredly connected.
One catastrophe at a time, Mr. Spock.
You should try to this activity stuff. Get Spock on the move. Get up there, Spock.
Your help with this door.
I haven't had a problem with the AI yet.
Step forward.
That doesn't sound good.
Captain, I would not advise stepping into that scanner.
No other way around, Spock.
I wonder if you can switch who you play as. Once you complete the mission many times.
Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise, we have a shuttle ready for your evacuation.
While we appreciate your assistance, our captain and many of our top scientists are trapped in the transporter room on the other side of the station. We cannot simply abandon them.
Any suggestions, Mr. Spock?
If we were able to reach them, Mr. Scott may then be able to obtain a manual lock on our positions.
I'm afraid that may prove impossible. All interior passages are blocked.
The suits hold up out there?
With the solar shield failing, direct exposure would mean certain death.
Well, I hate certain death. Spock, let's try to avoid direct exposure.
Captain, I will offer whatever assistance I can to your communicator. But again, I fear that these efforts...
Yeah, we get it. Certain death. Any other words of advice?
Try to live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, old Vulcan saying if you know anything about Star Trek. Alright, so good time to end this video. We'll pick up the next video with the spacewalk. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Leave your comments below. Share the video. Donate to the PayPal. Check out all my other videos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram. And thanks for watching Random Generation Gaming. Star Trek the game. See you next time.